Well, would you look at the time, it's Lego Mario time.
Lego Mario has been released. This is a product I've wanted since childhood. I've always wanted a Lego Mario set, and it finally has arrived. Kind of. Yeah, Nintendo and Lego sort of announced this product, and at first I was like, wow, I'm so excited to see this and buy it as well. There have been a few Mario buildable things in the past. I know that K'NEX had the license for a while, and they had a few random bags where you could get Mario characters, and so I ended up with a Yoshi one just because I wanted to get one just because I like Mario and I wanted to see if they were actually of decent quality, and they were not. I don't even know if I still have this Yoshi figure, but I recall it being incredibly low quality. I was like, why did I even buy this? And the sets themselves were not very interesting to me. They were like weird little playset things that did not entice me particularly. So I was so glad that Lego and Super Mario were finally collaborating in an official capacity. And so then when they finally revealed what Lego Super Mario actually was, I was pretty mixed on it, and honestly, I still kind of am.
The first thing I gotta point out, it's the obvious thing, the Lego Mario figure when it's turned off does not look super appealing. What in God's name is this?
So essentially Lego Mario is this electronic figure, and you can use it to interact with these barcode things to get coins, and basically the point of it is you can make your little course, your little Mario Lego course. You start at a warp pipe and you have 60 seconds to collect as many coins as possible, and then you end the course by reaching the flagpole. And so that's actually kind of cool that it has an electronic component.
One of the other unique things about Lego Super Mario is that it is fully integrated with the Lego Mario app, and you have to use it to get the instructions for each of the sets to build them. This sort of makes sense, I guess, because the Lego Mario can connect via Bluetooth with the phone, so they kind of want to encourage synergy between the app and the figure. You still get a booklet, but it basically just tells you to use the phone app. I actually like this quite a bit. It reminds me a bit of Nintendo Labo, that sort of experience where you have digital instructions, which can be pretty useful because you can rotate it around, zoom in and out. So that's nice. It's not really necessary. I kind of feel like they just did this as an excuse to make people use the app. I don't really care. I don't hate that that's the method, and it's actually pretty effective, and I don't mind building in this way. It's not bad.
I think my main issue though is that the sets themselves are not very visually interesting. I think most of my favorite Lego sets are ones that you could put on a shelf and display very well. That's how I enjoy Lego at this point in my life. And these don't look amazing as that. They're really more designed to be played with in this specific way, which is definitely interesting. It's unique, certainly, but it's not really what I was looking for. And there's definitely a lot of things that I do like about it, and that's what I'm gonna go over first, is the positive aspects, because there are certainly a lot of them. Lego specifically made a lot of new pieces for this line of sets, like these ground pieces, and a lot of the pieces for the enemies are all brand new, and they look pretty great. And it's sort of a meta Lego system where you have these components that are pre-built that you are instructed how to build, but then the actual course itself, you're given free reign to arrange it in whatever way you see fit. And usually with Lego sets that I've experienced, they just give you one configuration, or if it's the creator sets, they give you 2 additional ones. But here, the exact configuration of where you put things is left up to you, which is cool and does encourage you to make your own course arrangements. Basically, you can just set it up however you want, and there isn't a specified way that you are supposed to, and it means that you can move these pre-built Mario things, like you can put the castle here, and it doesn't take that much effort to reconfigure the elements in a way that works. I also like a lot of the visual elements. A lot of the things in the sets do look like they're from a Mario game, like the question blocks, the mushrooms. They have these new cloud pieces, which are designed to look like Mario clouds. I like that. I think probably my favorite thing about this theme is the different brick-built Lego enemies. They look suitably blocky, but also very recognizable. For example, Bowser Jr. here is very clear what it's supposed to be, but it still looks like a Lego version of that. And it has a lot of specific pieces that were made for the Lego Mario theme that make it feel more authentic to the Mario world. The thing that I've enjoyed the most about Lego Mario is getting the individual random bags, these plastic random bags that you can get that have one of 10 different enemies, and they're all brick built, so you get some pieces with them and you get a little stand to display them on. And so this is a lot like the collectible minifigures they've done in the past, but I think this is the first time we've had a version of that where they're brick built characters, which I think is really cool, and this allows them to make even more characters than are in the Lego sets. There's a lot of enemies in these bags that you can only get in these bags. They all function with the Lego Mario figure. I mentioned previously that I like to display my Lego stuff, and these I'd say definitely work the best as display items. From what I have experienced just myself, I think I've gotten about 7 of these things. I've only had one repeat, which was a blooper, and all the rest have been uniques. And usually with these Lego collectible bags, I get like a ton of like one character or something, but I haven't experienced that with Lego Mario. I might just have gotten lucky, I guess. So I love these things. Definitely what I've enjoyed the most is getting these individual bags. Honestly, more so than the sets. I like the sets, but the brick built elements in them aren't that exciting or interesting to build usually. They're kind of just components for you to make play sets with, but I'm more interested in having the characters to display, honestly. Also want to shout out the Toad and Toadette figures. These are awesome. I love these things. These are some of the only figures that don't have any barcodes on them because they aren't enemies. You just sort of talk to them as Lego Mario. And it is cool that it's very easy to expand your starter course, because you do have to get the starter course, which is $60 in order to have the Lego Mario figure. And so it is pretty easy to get the starter set and then expand it by buying more. There's a fair amount of smaller sets, like there's $30 ones, there's $20 ones as well, and there's also some bigger ones like the Bowser Castle set, which I don't have. I did get the Toad Treasure Hunt set, which had the Toad characters and some of the more interesting brick-built structures. These Toad houses are only really a facade, but they still look pretty good and are very accurate to the games. Only one of them actually has a play function as far as I know. The others are just kind of decorative items to make it feel more like the Mario world, which is kind of what I like. That was definitely a worthwhile one to get for me. In terms of the sets, that's all there really is to say. They're basically just things to expand your starter course and make more complicated and elaborate courses for your Lego Mario to go through. And your enjoyment of this product kind of hinges on how much you value this play feature. And I do to some degree, but it's not really something that I go out of my way to do. I've owned this thing for like over 6 months, and I haven't used the actual Lego Mario component of it that often. When I get a new enemy bag, I'll whip out the Lego Mario figure just to see how it interacts with it. And then every once in a while, like for this review video, I got it out and I went around and did some Mario courses just to demonstrate it. It does definitely get more enjoyable when you have more sets. Like I have this Toad Treasure Hunt, and they have these 3 different numbered blocks that you have to go around and collect in order to get a reward. It's definitely enjoyable in some capacity. The issue is, it's the kind of thing where once you get it, you use it for a couple hours, and then you kind of forget about it, because there's only so much you can do with this. Even when you get a new set, there's only so much that this new set can offer in addition to what you already have. For someone like me who does not usually play with Lego in this way, it's not the best way that they could have adapted Mario into a Lego format. I'd really want something like the Sonic Mania set that is coming out at some point in the future that just got confirmed. Something that is sort of a game-accurate representation of what Mario is, but in Lego form that you can display on a shelf. I kind of wish they'd done something more like the Sonic Mania set, which is kind of weird to say, but I just like that route more, even though the Lego Mario set has all these new pieces and this electronic figure and functionality. All those bells and whistles just don't really appeal to me specifically all that much. I enjoy them for what they are, but it's not something that I would have gone out of my way to get if I didn't really want a Lego Mario set for so long. I basically got it out of obligation because I was like, well, this is what Lego Mario is. It's not exactly what I would have wanted, but it exists nonetheless, and I wish to own it. The one exception to this is the Lego NES set, which I actually really enjoy. I think that was a great idea. I don't personally own it because it's $230, which is a bit of a tall order, And it's what it sounds like. It's a recreation of the original NES controller system and cartridge, but in my opinion, the best element is the TV, which features a scrolling recreation of 1-1. And this is also compatible with the Lego Mario figure. I think if you put it on the top of the TV, it'll play the Mario music and make noises when you stomp on enemies or whatever. So I think that's a really great product, but I think the problem is with Lego Mario, you kind of have two extreme ends of the spectrum. You have these sets, which appeal primarily to a younger audience, and then you have the other end of it, which is this over $200 reconstruction of a game console. And it does also have a play feature, but it is overall clearly designed for people with a lot of money that can spend that money on expensive Lego sets. And I would have liked something in between, something in the $80 to $100 range that works better as a display item, because Lego has been doing more of that recently. Like, they have stuff like the bonsai tree, and some of the architecture sets aren't too expensive. Sets that are more designed to just generally look nice. So I would have liked something in a slightly lower price range and isn't so purely a playset. That is a fairly specific request, but I do think that there is a sizable audience for that. You know, something more like the Sonic Mania set, which I can't imagine being any more than $100 at most. Lego Mario is a very interesting product. I don't think it was executed perfectly. I do respect and commend the ambition involved here. I think the gimmick aspect of it was probably informed by Nintendo rather than Lego. It seems like something Nintendo would be in favor of and push for. Could be wrong, but that's just my little theory. I'm glad Lego Mario exists, certainly, but yeah, I think it could exist in a form which I find more appealing, because they're certainly not done with the theme. They'll probably do more play sets, and I do hope that alongside those we get some more display items which just look nicer. The current Lego Mario stuff, I don't know how to describe it really, but something about it is just not the most appealing because it's so clearly intended to exist solely as a play set. And I would like something that is a bit more than that.
That's Lego Super Mario. I think I've exhausted this topic well enough for today. Do have hope for the future that they expand the selection and the type of sets that they're making. I think they probably will at some point in the future. We'll see about that. They're still making these, and even as is, I do still overall like the product, even if I do have problems with it as I've outlined. Well then, dear viewer, I will bid you farewell and see you potentially later